in my time, my area, there was this. There are these people who used to go from door to door selling books, educational books. They will just tell you that these books are very useful. But before anything, before when they knock your door, the first statement they will say to you when you open is that you don't have to buy, you just have to look at it. Okay. Only if you like it, then we can think about things. Okay. And then they will go on explaining about the book and they'll add more value to it. And then they will just pull up the, a challan from there or receipt from their pocket. And then they will start asking that today, because of Dr. Abdul Kalam's birthday, this book is at this offer. So how many copies do you want? They will not even ask if you want it or not. Right. So it is a particular syntax which a lot of salespeople do it. If you add enough emotions and human value into it, a lot of times you can get the sales done. Okay. So that is conversational hypnosis. The same as you have button because it's a very powerful hypnotic syntax. When you use but in a statement, which part of the statement is important?
Don't.
No, if you use but in a statement, which part of the statement is important? The part before but or after but? After but. It is the part after. Have you noticed whenever someone apologizes, if there is a but in the statement, you will not feel as if the person has apologized. Somehow you will not feel the person has apologized. You will not be able to explain why. Right? So a lot of times when your unconscious gives you a signal, there won't be a why reason associated to it because your unconscious is not related to logic. Your unconscious is related to emotions, related to images, beliefs, values, behavior, patterns, habits, but it is not related to your logics. So you'll not be able to say why. And your unconscious usually processes in a big chunk. A lot of data, it will just take it and process and give a result. You will not be able to decode why it is saying something. So why it is that when there is a but in a statement, you will not feel as if there is an apology. Let me give you an example. I scolded any one of you, or one of your friends scolded any one of you. The person is coming to apologize. I'm really sorry for scolding you, but do you realize what you did was a very big mistake? What is the statement?
He's actually not apologetic. He's making his point still that he's right.
The person is coming and blaming you or saying that what you did is a bigger mistake, not about apologizing. Clear?
Right.
So if there is but is a very powerful hypnotic statement, I'll tell you how you can use in terms of sales. Also sales or in hypnosis also. In hypnosis, don't is also used, by the way, a lot of times. Because is in a statement, which part of the statement is important? Before or after?
Before.
Before. Okay. Yes. Whenever you use because in a statement, a lot of people believe that you are going to tell some fact backing the statement that you already told. So there was a small social experiment which was conducted where someone runs into a mall and says that run, because there is a bomb. People run. Then he just comes and says to another one set of people, he shouts, run, because there is a snake. People run. And finally, he comes and shouts in another place, run, because there is a cake. People also run. People don't wait to listen as to what is the reason behind the command. They just run. Okay. So how is don't used in hypnosis? If you go to a therapist, if the person is going to put you into a trance, one of the statements the person will say is that don't get into a trance fast. Take all the time you want, relax, and only then get into a trance.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes.
Like when you're putting on the statements of but and because, have you implemented them or have you actually practically tried them while stating it? Or you might be going to do it in between the sessions?
We will be doing it in the session, but these are some things that I have used extensively in the past. So when I learned NLP, one of the first things that I implemented, as Michael was telling us, rapport building, and then it came to the language patterns. So language patterns, I'll just tell you a lot of examples where I have used it. So I'll also tell you some of the syntaxes where it can be used. So a button because can be used a lot. So you can say that you don't have to get into a trance fast, but you have an option to do that because you are a creative person and creative people get into a trance fast. Now I used all, don't, but, and because. You don't have to consider buying this product, but this is an amazing time to buy this product because there is a sales going on, which you can never get after this.
And I can hear only because, which is like more favorable.
So basically what you are doing is you are just stacking up statements to program the mind. So how is that you can program your mind using a language? There's a lot of things that we have to understand. But before that, we were also talking about the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, right? So is there something called as a conscious and unconscious? A lot has been spoken about it, right? So let us just explore. Now you are listening to the sound of my voice, looking at my attire, looking at me in the screen, and looking at whatever I'm telling you, teaching you. And as that happens, you would have missed something behind your screen that you're looking at, and which may come to your conscious awareness right now, right? And as that is happening, you would have missed the sensation of your body touching the chair where you're sitting, which might come to your awareness right now, right?
Yep.
Right? And as that happens, you would have missed some sound in their environment, some small sound. It can be the hissing of the fan or the AC or some other sound in the environment that will come to your conscious awareness right now, right?
Yep.
And finally, as that happens, you would have even missed the sensation of your breath that is going in and out. You would have missed it, which is coming to your awareness right now, right? Yeah. So it does not mean all of these things were not there. It was not in your awareness. That's all, right? So whatever is not in your awareness, usually they say it is in your unconscious mind. Now think about how many things which is not in your conscious awareness. Let me ask you, the way you're sitting, is it a conscious choice that you're making right now?
Yes.
Yep.
Is it? Or are you just sitting because you have been programmed to sit in a certain way? Or are you holding yourself in a certain way right now? Or is it automatically happening? The way you breathe, the way you sit, the way you communicate, the way you react, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you do your activities on a day-to-day basis, your habits, your beliefs, your values, your patterns. Are any of these things conscious choices that you make?
No, they are unconscious. Until and unless we don't, we just positively think about it that, okay, I have to stretch my shoulders back and stand more straight. I go in that flow.
It's an unconscious process, right?
Yes.
Now, the point is, whatever is unconscious, your conscious is, usually they say it is very small. It is 7%, 10%. Let's say even if it is 20%, by logic from what I have understood from my experimentation, max, you can just take it to 20, 25%. Beyond that, it is not about you taking it or not. It is very difficult to take it. If you are consciously looking at something and focusing on it, after a point of time, you will get tired. So your mind always has a self-drive mode, which is called as your unconscious process, right? Like all of us want to be successful, and to be successful, we all believe that a good willpower is very important, right? Technically, more than willpower, to be successful, habits are very important. Look at any successful person. A successful person is a set of successful habits, right? Have you noticed this? A successful person will have set of habits which will be promoting the person's success, and an unsuccessful person will be having a set of habits will be promoting them being unsuccessful. Correct? That's why a lot of time, even if you have exert your willpower to a certain level and try to come up in life, you will not be able to do that until and unless you have a habit that backs up your success journey. Right? True or not? All of you? Okay. But unfortunately, the focus that we give on willpower, we don't give on habits. A simple way to program yourself or to change your life is to understand the habits that you're having on a day-to-day basis. From morning to evening, what are the habits that you're having? Just note it down. Okay. And note which habits are useful for you, which habits are not. Now, this is the easiest part, by the way, although this will also take considerable amount of effort. Okay. So just note what habits that you have, which is actually helping you. First of all, note all your habits, then try to understand which habits are helping you, whatever the habits can be. The habit of waking up in the morning or not waking up in the morning, sleeping on time, not sleeping on time, reading a particular book or particular pages of a book or not, working out or scrolling, gossiping with people or indulging in deep discussions with people. If your habits are something that promotes your success, you will notice that in your habit patterns. Okay. So this is a very simple way of understanding. So your unconscious is something that holds massive things that you cannot think about, or you will have to take time to process and think about. One of the ways of explaining NLP is about programming your unconscious mind consciously. Okay, so as we understood, the habits are in the unconscious mind. Beliefs are in unconscious mind. Your past memories are in your unconscious mind. You don't carry them all the time, right? When something triggers, then you get into those memories, but they are in your unconscious mind. It is like this huge repository. Now we are just trying to understand how is that you can program them for your own success. Clear?
But habits are something that we can form, or I mean, we can do, or we can leave also.
Absolutely, we can form. But the question is, now when I ask you to write your habits, you will understand if you start writing your habits, it will take a few minutes for you to go back and think about all the habits that you have in a day. From the habit of brushing in the morning to, if I ask you to explore all your habits, if you work out or not, if you scroll or not, if you talk to a person needingly or not, your internal patterns, all of these things will be very deeply rooted. Now, the habit, now a simple habit, let us just explore. Yesterday night, how many of you went to bed promising to yourself that next day morning when you wake up, you will brush definitely? Anyone?
No.
None of you? But how many of you brushed?
Yes.
All of you.
Yeah.
Why did you brush? Because it is a habit, not because of health reasons. If you think you are brushing in the morning for health reasons,
because of health reasons.
okay. If given a choice, give a choice to a lot of people and ask when is that they will choose to brush. I'll give you guaranteed more than 90% of people will say they will brush in the morning if given a choice, if they have to brush in the morning or evening. Now, brushing in the morning is technically saying tata bye-bye to the germs which have already caused the injury. It's not going to give you any use. If you have been continuously brushing in the morning, it means you have made a habit out of it. It's not for any particular health reason that you are thinking. You form that habit for a health reason. Someone is working out, form that habit for a health reason. But they working out today is not because of health reasons, it's because of a habit that they have developed. And someone is not working out, again, that is a habit that they have developed, right? Someone wakes up and the first thing they do finger gym exercise. You know what is finger gym exercise? You don't know?
Is that triatic, which is like taking your finger here?
No, it's a very much more simple, practical exercise that everyone does. You just take a piece of device like this in your hand, and then you just do this, This is called as finger gym exercise. And then there are people, the first thing they wake up, they go to their washroom, come back, they put on their jogging shoes, they go for running. Or they open their yoga mat, they start their yoga. Or they put on their gym gear, they go for gymming. Or they sit for meditation. Or they do something productive for themselves. Right? Both these habits will give a result, correct? Now, you may not be aware of it. You may think, no, everything I was doing properly only in my life. What happened? You did not check on your habits. Now, habits are something that you form, which you can form. Now, here is one thing that you need to understand. Although unconscious mind is very important, a lot of time people belittle the conscious mind. But only with a conscious choice, you can change something in your unconscious mind also. True? Yes or no? Without taking a conscious choice or without making a conscious effort, you cannot change something in your unconscious mind. Right? When people talk about the power of unconscious mind, law of attraction, and a lot of things which are hi-fi and neo-spiritual thing. When I say neo-spiritual, earlier days people used to tell about prayers and everything. Now it is law of attraction, affirmations, right? All of these things are neo-spiritual things, which can work. I'm not saying it works or does not work. But one of the things is that when it comes to all of those things, people miss the major component of all of it, which is the mind, which is how you program your mind, how you override your mind, right? So NLP is about understanding about your unconscious process and understanding how is that you can change your unconscious process consciously, right? As Neha told, any habit can be created. Any habit can be created. There is something called as 4 quadrants of learning of NLP we will understand, which makes you understand how you implant anything into your unconscious. From your conscious, if anything goes to your unconscious, how it goes. Okay, we'll just get into a detailed analysis day by day, and we'll understand it a little bit more. So till now, NLP is about neuro-linguistic programming. How is that you can program your mind using a language? Now, when I say language, what is the first language that all of us learned? Now, all of us here have different mother tongues, but still we have a common language that all of us learn.
Sign language.
Sign, yeah.
Yeah, non-verbals.
Correct.
Non-verbals. It can be your sign that you make, your body language that you create, or it can also be the tonality that you use, the voice tonality that you use, that also helps people understand, right?
Yeah.
So body language is the first language. The easiest way to program your mind is using a body language. Yeah, we'll understand a little bit more as we move forward. So till now, do you have any questions?
Is there a difference between how we can actually consciously decide that what is conscious mind and what is unconscious mind? And
There is no, although people always give you this image of this is your conscious mind, this is your unconscious mind, the iceberg example. If you go on online, you will get this iceberg example, which will show that on the top portion, which is visible outside, is the conscious mind, which is not visible is the unconscious mind. There has been no scientific proof or studies which has told specifically that this is your conscious, this is your unconscious. It is all by inference that we are saying that your unconscious is bigger. Do you know a lot of medical things are learned by inference also? I'll give you an example. Smoking causes cancer. Do you know there is no scientific proof for that? When I say scientific proof, there is no controlled trial which has been run which proves that smoking causes cancer. And there cannot be. Why? One, it is unethical. Second, it is not practical. What should you do? You should take some 100 kids, put them into a clean atmosphere, give them smoke, and then test their blood parameters as to how much their blood is varying for 100 days, which eventually can kill a kid also. But can you do an experiment like that? No. So how did people understand? At a point of time when oncologists, the cancer specialists, they were looking at patients and they were collecting their case sheets, they understood that all these people had certain things in common. And one of the things was they were smoking a lot. And that is how the statement came: smoking causes cancer, smoking kills. I'm not saying smoking does not cause cancer. All I'm saying is we learn a lot of things by inference than by experimentation, right? The same way, your unconscious mind, there is no perfect place to say that this is your conscious, this is your unconscious. Often it is by inference than by experimentation that this is told. So that's why we experimented of something that we could experiment with. Right? Like if you just think about all the things that you're doing now, the way you're holding your body, the way you're thinking in your mind, it is different for everyone, right? The way you're observing the things around you, the way you're carrying out life, the very way that you're breathing, it's all unconscious, right? You're not consciously focused every minute that now I will inhale, hold it for 5 seconds, and then I will exhale. Do you do that all the time? No. We can't afford to do that. It's not necessary to do that also. When a lot of people say that you are not conscious about things, a lot of times it's not necessary also. Your unconscious is an autopilot mode, which is very much important because that saves a lot of energy for your thought process and for your cognition. That leaves a lot of space for that. Clear? Okay. So your conscious mind, unconscious mind, what is NLP? So we have just learned till this. Tomorrow we'll just get into, or probably today towards the end of the day, we'll understand a little bit about the history of NLP, about what NLP is. If you want to learn more, for everything, if you want to learn more, I'll refer a book. You can refer that book if you want to learn more. The whole program that we are going to do is going to be like a crash course. Although one of the biggest advantages and disadvantages of our program is it is content intensive. The amount of program or amount of tools, amount of techniques which is there in this particular program is not there in many NLP programs, which are 4 to 5 times the cost of this program. So it is the most content intensive program that I have noticed. I have myself done NLP from 5 different trainers. I myself analyzed about 15 different trainers all over India, but no one has the content that we have. So that's the advantage. What's the disadvantage? When you learn a lot of tools, you become like a child in a candy store. What happens when you're a child in a candy store? You want this, you also want this. So there are multiple things that you will want, right? So that's the reason we give option for people to come back and relearn if they want. That's the reason we just have a lot of tribe meets up to meet people and try to understand things within ourselves and move forward. And we also have a lot of books references. We also have a lot of practice sessions. We have systems where people get into a buddy coaching system where they coach each other. So all of these things are helpful to learn more whenever you have a lot of content. So having a lot of content is a boon and also can be a bane. But let us try to understand how to make it into a boon and how to make better out of it, better results, get better results out of it, right? Okay, cool. So let us just get into understanding the first first few steps of NLP as whatever we are going to learn. Okay, so when NLP was created, there were a lot of ways of they understood there are a lot of ways of starting the program. But the first thing is to frame our mindset in a certain way. Okay, they found that there were certain beliefs that people used in their life which was giving them a lot of success. Okay, and some of those tools are much more important than others, particularly for learning something like NLP, right? So when the fathers of NLP found NLP, they understood successful people or people who are closer to life, people who are getting great results in life, usually carried a set of beliefs which people call as belief of excellence, or it is also called as presuppositions of NLP. Okay, we will just see 3 of them and see how is that we are going to use. Why we are just seeing 3 of them? These 3 are very important in terms of learning this program. All of the presuppositions are useful. We will understand it as and when things go by. But first, we will start with a small presupposition. Okay, it's called the map is not the territory. The map is not the territory. What does it mean? The map is not the territory. Anyone? What do you understand by the statement? The map is not the territory.
A map can show only how much area has been like I mean approx something, and
Okay.
territory is what it is been there on the
Okay.
present level, present scenario.
Okay. Others?
Map is just a direction which represents the direction,
Okay.
and territory is that which is owned and actually physical form of it, which
Thank you.
defines that ki this is there.
Good.
And, yeah.
Yes, Rachna,
Uh,
and then Yasmin.
I think map is something which you see. It may
Uh-huh.
not be reality. Reality may be much more bigger than this because in map,
Good.
if India is this much, so India is not this much. It can
Good.
be a bigger. So what you are seeing is not the reality. There is much more to it.
Okay. Thank you. Yasmin.
Yeah, maybe the synonym of is that as it goes the same way. It is a representation of reality, but it is not reality. So I've just put up as maybe my world, my map is different, and other people's map is different.
Good.
According to my culture, beliefs, and things, what I frame my map is a different image. The other
Good.
person's might be a different image.
This reminds me of a story actually from what Yasmin told. This is a story from Swami Vivekananda's life. So, you know Swami Vivekananda, so he was a wandering monk. And as he was wandering, once he just went into this area of Tibet, I believe, where he went into this household where there was one lady and 4 men. Okay. And they invited him because he was in a saffron robe and everything. They provided him the space. They gave him food. They gave him space for comfort and everything. Everything was fine, wonderful. But Swami Vivekananda was confused about one thing. He was not able to contemplate the relationship between this women and the men. This woman, the one lady which was there, and the 4 men who were there, he was not able to understand who is the wife, who is she, wife to, and who is maybe the others are the brothers of that husband, or maybe the others are her relatives in some way, her brothers or something. He was not able to understand it by the interaction that they were having. So as it was becoming dark, they were just gathering around a campfire and talking. And Swami Vivekananda was talking to this people who were there, and the men were there. So he asked, I just wanted to understand what is the relationship between you and particularly when he caught hold of one man when the others were not there. What is the relationship between you and the lady? So this man told, oh, she is our wife. She is our wife. So he was shocked. No, I think you told it. So she is your wife. No, she is our wife. Now, Swami Vivekananda, having come from the background of Vedanta, Advaita and everything, he started to give a lecture. How can you say this? The Vedas always says that there's one person for one woman. You cannot have this thing. This is very wrong. And she started to talk, and then he noticed. He's a very sharp person in terms of intellect. So he just noticed that the other person who told this was stuck. He was stuck looking at Swami Vivekananda with the level of, there was some level of confusion and disgust mixed he was just looking at. And Swami Vivekananda asked, what happened? So he told, you were a man before, a while before you were talking about detachment, not owning something for yourself. And now you are the man who is promoting that a woman should be tied to only one man. Okay. Most of us would have argued at this point that that is different, this is different, everything. Swami Vivekananda pauses here and he writes in his book this very important message, which is applicable for all of us in every walk of life. He told, if both of us had to argue with our ideologies, there will be an endless debate where nothing will come to an end. Because I am talking from my map of the world, he is talking from his map of the world. For him, what he does is correct. For me, what I believe is correct. This is exactly what map is not the territory is. My belief, my understanding of something does not have to be that thing. The map of a country does not have to be the country, representation of the country, right? My understanding of someone here, let's say my understanding of Ritu Goyal does not have to be Ritu Goyal, right? What I understand out of that person is nothing compared to the immensity of what the person is, right? True or not? So this all comes to one point of being open, right? So what we have understood before can be a little bit different from what is actually the reality. Okay? For example, it is told a lot of time that when someone tells you their sob story, their sad story, even when you hear to it, even when you hear out that story, 50% of resolution is attained, right? In the self-help industry, this is a common thing that people say, particularly in the world of Instagram influencers who post themselves to be therapists, psychology, and psychologists and everything in between. They say this, right? Just give your hearing ears to someone. That itself can heal a person. Does it actually work? Does it actually work? Have you noticed a lot of times there are people who will tell you their sob story for 10 years continuously. Every time they tell you that story, they will relive that incident again and again, and they will go into tears. They will feel the pain in them as if they have told it for the first time. And a lot of time, the first time when they told it and the 100th time they tell it, there will be a different story. The story would have enhanced. Have you noticed this? So how is it even true? It does not have to be true. The map is not the territory. What we believe about something does not have to be the reality of it. True or not?
So where do the ends meet? How do we come to a point?
So as a therapist, as a coach, as a counselor, your work is not to listen to the sob stories, or you're not there to give a shoulder to cry, a hand to wipe off their tears. They have people called as friends and family to do that. They have come to you because they have not got resolution from there. Your work is to stay detached from the situation. A lot of time people think, oh, I am very emotional. I can connect to people's issue. That is why I need to be a coach or counselor. Well and good. You may be a good person. No question on that. But that is the exact thing you should not do to be a coach or a counselor. You should have the ability to stay detached. If I am a doctor and with every patient I meet who is suffering out of pain, I am getting emotional and I am crying. And whenever I do the operation, I feel the pain of the person and I am doing it. Do you think I'll be a good doctor?
No, you will be carried away by the emotions.
Exactly. So people, when they think that I can connect to people, I can feel people's pain, I'm an empath, that's why I need to do that. It's really good that you're an empath. If you're an empath, you will have to know that you will have to drop that feeling of being an empath or that role of being an empath. You will have to take a new role to be a better coach or a counselor. Because when you get emotionally attached, invested in someone's issue, earlier there was one person who was involved in that issue. Now there are two.
Are you trying to say, sir, that we should use our own mind and not get into the situations and circumstances built by others or the pictures shown to us by others? We should use our own analytical skills to see.
People can show whatever pictures they are showing. You should have the ability to be detached and look at it as a third person, understand what does not work over there, and try to make the person understand how is that they can arrive at a solution. A coach is not someone who provides a solution. A coach is someone who facilitates the change, who makes people understand what is lacking in them, what they should be doing, by not telling them, but making them realize it. How is that you can do that? We will understand it over a period of time now. Okay, so my point here is, when we say map is not the territory, a lot of people believe that the most important ability a person should have to become a coach is to be empathetic. Well and good that you are a good human being. Now that you have started the journey, now you will have to drop that idea of being empathetic, drop the role of being empathetic, and take the role of being a person who's detached from any situation and look at the solution. Right? Clear? Understood? So map is not the territory is the first thing that we need to take. Map is not the territory may mean multiple things. You may have multiple ideas about traumatic situations of your life. You may have multiple ideas about the beliefs and values of your life, but we should always be open enough to explore our own beliefs and values and try to understand if it is true or not, try to understand if something works or not, right? Someone believes, I was just in this program in Erode where Balamurugan was there, we were discussing. I was telling to someone was asking, is protein really important? Is muscle mass really important? Is exercise really important and everything? And with all these philosophies, people have this philosophy. I just heard it in one of the famous podcast. Some old doctor was saying that don't exercise, AC room mein reh lo, have good breath. God has given you only this much breath. If you breathe it fast, you will die fast. These ideologies are beautiful, okay, to make you have a sedentary lifestyle, make you feel comfortable, it is good. But when reality hits, all your logic will fall flat and you will get hurt more than anyone else. And you will not be able to even shout outside because you have lived with this ideology long enough. Right? So reality is always very important. And to face the reality, you should be a little bit open to understand the map is not the territory. If someone who was living a life of a celibate life, that person is able to understand that, okay, someone having an ideology that they can have multiple husbands does not have to interfere with your map of the world, but you have to understand that is their map of the world and be okay with it. Right? A lot of time people divide the world based on good and bad. Okay, there are certain habits which are good, but there are certain habits which are bad. There are certain aspects of a person which is good, certain aspects which is bad. Not necessarily always that works. We should be open enough to understand things and see things for what they are, than get into a belief system, than get into an argument. Clear? Map is not the territory. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. The second presupposition is, this is something that most of you may agree immediately. There is no failure, only feedback. The presupposition is there is no failure.
Yeah.
What does it mean? It's something that all of you would have heard in a lot of motivational speeches and other places. So technically, I went into NLP to understand how to become a better motivational speaker. After going into NLP, I just came out and dropped this idea of becoming a motivational speaker, because I understood motivation does not carry you forward. Your skills, your capabilities, your beliefs, your values, and what all things that you have to, how all you have to program your unconscious mind will help you carry forward, which motivation cannot provide. Motivation can be a spark, right? So this particular presupposition you have heard in a lot of places in multiple different ways, right? Either there are sayings like either you win or you learn. So there is no failure, only feedback. Clear? Good presupposition. We will be using this here and there when we don't understand things, and we'll be bringing in some other presuppositions now and then. The map is not the territory. There is no failure, only feedback. Okay. And the third presupposition, the person with the most flexibility is the most powerful. The person with the most flexibility is the most powerful. I'll also tell you how these presuppositions were arrived, what was the research which was done, on whom it was done.
Could you just repeat that, sir? The third
The
statement.
person with the most flexibility is the most powerful. What does it mean? How is that you can accept this? What is that? What is that comes to your mind when I say this presupposition?
When you say that, may I say?
Yeah.
When you say that, because it's been also said that the straight trees have been cut first. So when the straighter you are, the more visible you are. And if you are ready to bend and take the change around your surroundings, so the better the easier it is for you to live.
Okay.
Love.
Others? Anyone else? Good. So there is no one right answer. All of you can try your own answers. Even in the last presupposition, there was no one right answer. Whatever all of you told was right here and there. I just contemplated it.
Flexibility is accepting the reality and moving on.
Okay. Accepting the reality and moving on. Okay.
See, it's adaptability for others' thought and understanding other, as you mentioned, that others map. That gives the knowledge and the other perspective to look at from the different frame, right?
Good.
What other person is thinking. Yeah.
Thank you. All of you, whatever you told is actually true. If you just look at evolution, look at the animals which survived evolution. Did the strongest animal survive it?
No,
No.
the most flexible one.
Did the weakest one also survive it? No. What survived? The ones which were flexible. Now, in the fitness industry, if you just look at fitness as a whole, what defines a person's fitness? One of the most important parameters is not the muscle strength. It is important. I'm not saying muscle strength is not important. Muscle mass is important. It is not a muscle strength. It is not even sometimes your endurance, but it is the flexibility that you have in your body. As you get older, that will have a larger role to play than anything else. How flexible you are, how much you are able to flex your system, that is how much you will be able to move forward. How much you are able to be flexible to new situations, new environments. If you say that I cannot drink the water from anywhere, you are prone to catch infection anywhere, right? Okay, so basically the person with the most flexibility is the most powerful. The more you can change, or they say this very famous thing, if you don't change, you will be changed. True? The only thing that is constant is
Change.
Right? Before COVID, there were a lot of trainers doing multiple things. 2020 came, suddenly COVID stuck, and there are a lot of trainers who were left out, did not know what to do. And some of them started some online programs and did new things. And there were a lot of trainers who told, no, only when the offline program starts, we will do it. Do you know an offline program is more engaging for the trainer than the participants? Once I had this opportunity to talk to this person, Surain from Success Gyan. I hope you would have heard about Success Gyan.
Yes.
Anyone?
Yes.
Success Gyan is a very big training company. In India, they are one of the biggest training companies, I would say. They collaborate with a lot of trainers like Raju Telreja, Siddharth Rajashekhar, Gopalakrishnan, Pooja Puneet, a lot of other people they have collaborated with. And when I was just talking to him in COVID times, he told, I asked, what is the biggest challenge in an offline session? So online session. So one of the things he told us, it's really good for a participant, but it is hazardous for the trainer, because a lot of time the trainer derives the energy from the participants. And in an online session, it becomes more difficult to derive energy from the participants. Right? Now, because of that one thing, because of that one idea that I will not be able to derive energy, I don't want to talk to empty screen, a lot of trainers went out of market. Right? So if you just look at the whole world, the people who are not flexible have lost. The animals which are not flexible have lost. Even the microorganisms which are adaptable have survived. And which have not been able to adapt have been degrading. Right? If you go to a biological lab and if you see how microorganisms react to external stimulus, some microorganisms will mutate and take a new form. They survive in a new form. but others die. So these three are very important for you to understand. So first, the map is not the territory. Second, there is no
failure, only feedbacks.
only feedback. Third,
The person with the most flexibility is the most powerful.
Is the most powerful. Clear? Okay. So we'll always keep this in mind and move forward in whatever we are going to learn. If at all you are getting a confusion, see if there is any of these presuppositions which are applicable in that. NLP as a whole has more than about 30 presuppositions. In the course of this program, here and there, we will see about some 15 to 16 presuppositions and see how is that we can apply it. Presuppositions are a very good way of understanding life. They are, although people call it the belief of excellence, I would say that these are realities of life, right? Map is not the territory, it's the reality of life, right? True or not? Yeah.
So it means we shall stop believing upon these are the statements which really put you in a box where you either have to make your own decisions, but how can you be always right? It could be some other times, like maybe because of someone's culture they've been behaving like this, or maybe you've been not able to understand upon the situation for the time being, or the picture still has the picture shown was half, or there could be many other circumstances for that.
Yeah. So what's the question here?
Coming on to the point, how these points apply and how you can always be correct on making your point of view.
It's not about making your point of view. It is to understand that what you believe in, what your point of view does not have to be always correct. Does not have to be something that is everyone's point of view. Okay. Or that does not have to be something that is also true. Like this person who believes that, I mean, it's a belief, personal belief. Anyone can have any belief that God has created you given you with this much breath. And if you take this breath fast, you will die fast. If you take it slow, you will die slow. Does not have to be something that is helpful for that person. It's not something that can enhance the person's health. Right? This is a philosophy that I don't know if you have heard it. It's something that is circulating a lot in the internet nowadays. Anyways, coming back.
So one question here, when two people are interacting and both have their own map, right? So it's fine. If it's a like, okay, he has communicated his point of view and other person has communicated that. But if the decision has to be made, how to arrive at that? Because sometimes the in between path is also there, but sometimes it is not. How to conclude that if some decision has to be generated through that?
We will understand that as we go into it. We will understand that. How is that we can do it? By the way, it is not necessarily always that you have to come to a common middle way. Sometimes you can okay with people having their ideologies. Like, let's say, I don't drink or smoke. I don't have an issue with people drinking or smoking. 70% of my clients and friends drink and smoke. I'm okay with it. I mean, I do, just because I don't do it does not mean that they should not be doing it. And I don't see it necessarily as a bad habit or a wrong thing also. It does not have to be. I drink coffee, they drink alcohol. It does not have to be right or wrong. Just because they are doing something that I don't do, I don't have to think that that is right or wrong. Just I stay in my space, they stay in their space. There does not have to be a middle point where I say that, okay, I will drink a little bit today. Tomorrow you drink a little bit coffee. It does not have to be that.
There are a lot of social and official scenarios which are not the habit related, but these are the decisions which has to be made to make it. Right?
See, when you understand a person's point, or you understand the map is not the territory, the person can have their own point. It automatically does not mean you have to accept their point also. Sometimes, let us say, I am running a company. Okay, I'll give you my personal example. When I started doing programs, there were a lot of people who came with opportunities of collaboration. People who are into Reiki, people who are into energy healing, people who are into past life therapies, people who are into all kind of metaphysical things, law of attractions, etc., etc. Okay. So while I don't say that is right or wrong, when a point of time where it comes to collaboration, I always stayed away from it although joining with them would have meant that I would make a lot of money, I had to make a decision. And I understood that is their point of view. And this is very official also. But I don't have to get indulged in that. I can just stay away from it and be happy for that person. Okay. I understand they believe in it 100%. I understand they believe for them that has given them more value, but I don't have to indulge in that. I can be away from it. Okay.
Karthik, can you repeat this? I think I lost the link somewhere. I couldn't relate it.
No, I was just saying that there were a lot of people who wanted to collaborate when I initially started my journey, who were in the realm of metaphysical realms, law of attraction, Reiki healing, universal healing, and past life thing, good angel, bad angel talking and everything. Okay. When you talk about NLP, hypnosis, all these things also comes in. But I was very specific that I want to remain in the realm of mind and body. I don't want to go into the metaphysical realm. I don't say those things don't exist. So one of the things that I did was, okay, I understand that that works for you. I understand that you believe in it, that it works 100%. There are a lot of these modalities, which are the healing modalities, inner light healing, and etc. etc. Okay, there's another thing called as access bars, with people told this is the next best thing and everything. So there was a time when I had to decide, very good friends, very close friends, people who are also successful, but I had to stay away from it. So I understand it works for them. I understand it is true for them. I'm not going to debate with them also, but I had to stay in my own realm. But it's okay for them to be whatever they believe in. Just that I'm not going to indulge in that. So map is not the territory, is just understanding that I have a view which may not be true. The other person has a true view, which also may not be true, but it's okay for now. Very important thing for you to understand, for all of us to understand as people in the self-help industry, trainers, coaches, counselors, therapists, or people who want to do self-help for themselves, always remember this in golden words: helping people who don't want to be helped is a crime. It's a crime, it's a sin. Okay. Initially, when I learned,
how would you realize it? Sorry, but how would you realize it that they do not want to be getting help?
चप्पल से एक बार पड़ेगा तो पता चलेगा. Anyway, not even that. See, understand one very, okay, I'll just tell you one of the incidents where that made me realize how much of an idiot I was. 2008 New Year, I spent with a group of Europeans. Okay, there was this girl from Bulgaria, Lily Angela, who was a chain smoker. So she used to smoke like 2-3 packets a day. And 2008 New Year, we were spending on we went to see the sunset. They were super excited, the last sunset of the year. I did not know actually seeing sunset. There was some concept called as last sunset of the year, because Kanyakumari is one of the few places where you can see sunset and sunrise. So for them, it was, we are going to see the last sunset and the first sunrise. So we went to a beach. So we celebrated it there, the sunset. And then we came to Kanyakumari in my father's rooftop. We were all talking. There was another one girl, Tweety. Her father had got some homemade alcohol or something. All of them were drinking. Lily was smoking. As I was conversing with Lily, I asked her this question: Lily, how long have you been struggling to quit smoking? Lily gave me a dirty look and told, I never told you that I was struggling to quit smoking. I never even told you that I wanted to quit smoking. I love smoking. Map is not the territory. I believed, for me, anyone who is smoking is trying to quit smoking. When I learned NLP, this is the first time I realized it. Second time, when I learned NLP, I thought I had a lot of these tools with which I can help people to come off their life trauma, make them better in life, set them towards their goal, etc., etc. And anyone I found who was struggling, I tried to help them. And a lot of time I was humiliated, I was put down. People were not ready. And I was furious that I have this amazing thing with which I want to help people. Why the hell they are not coming? And I called my mentor back. And he told me this beautiful thing: helping people who don't want to be helped is a crime. First rule of coaching is this. First rule of self-help is this. You may be enthusiastic to help someone. That does not mean that person also wants to change. Okay, so as when Ritu was asking, in let us say in an official environment or even in a personal environment, there's something between a husband and wife also. Yeah, there's this famous saying that they say, even if the mother and child are the same, the mouth and stomach are different. For the mother's hunger, the mother has to eat. For the child's hunger, the child has to eat. right? So just try to understand this. Ritu, did I answer you in any ways?
Yes, I got it.
Thank you.
I have some specific scenario which I would like to write it down separately, because that will extend the discussion and we will be little away from the rest of the topic.
We'll discuss that later. Thank you.
I have one question here.
Yeah.
As you said, helping people who don't want to be helped is a yes. But sometimes, don't you think that a few people, yeah, when it comes to children especially, they don't even know they need help. So if we nudge a little, they understand, okay, they need help. Then they start pursuing it. But initially, they don't understand only, yeah. They feel they know everything. So they don't feel that they need that help.
Good.
So in this case, how do you put this?
See, when it comes to children, it is a different scenario. Now, what we are talking is in terms of adult communication. Okay. This is one thing that reminds me when Bandler and Grinder, the founder of NLP, they just taught NLP. The first statement they will say after introduction and everything, they will say that whatever we are going to tell you is a lie, because there is going to be at least one exception for whatever we are going to tell you. Okay. So this is the exception which is there. So when it comes to children, sometimes you have to get into this understanding, but even there, you need to know when you need to stop. The most important thing. A lot of time, parents who mean well, who mean really well, who will die for their kids, as they say, is really a fascinating concept of dying for the children. When people will not do the right things for children, like this is famous thing that one of reels of late that actually made sense a lot. This is something that I used to say. Would you actually change your habits for your children? Would you wake up early for your children? Would you go to sleep on time for your children? Would you work out for your children? Would you be on a clean diet for your children? Would you be disciplined for your children? Most people will not think about this. They will just say that I will die for my child, right? So we need to also understand, even in the case of children, where to stop. That's a very, very important thing to understand. Or we will create, there was one of my clients some 4 years back, who was super attached, super focused on the child. Unfortunately, just because of her focus, the child was becoming less and less individual child. He was 17 years of old. For anything and everything, he used to come back to the mom. And that was not something which was helping. Now, there has to be a place where we nurture the child. There has to be something where we stay back. Clear?
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Thank you. So, coming back. So, knowing these presuppositions, now getting into NLP. So, remember, if you are into self-help, coaching, counseling, therapy, helping people who don't want to be helped is a crime. A lot of time, you may get people who people may refer you people who they think they will need help. You know, my husband needs a lot of help. Can you please coach my husband? Or my wife needs a lot of help. She is really, really in a bad shape. I will need you to coach her to make her understand that health is very important. That is the time you should understand if it is the husband's requirement or the wife's requirement or the person's requirement. Okay. And write this in golden words in your brain. Helping people who don't want to be helped is a crime. If you don't understand it normally, you will struggle and understand it. So choice is yours. Okay. You may be
so practical.
You may be all loving, all compassionate. As I told, your compassion does not help in terms of helping a person. In fact, your compassion a lot of times will be on the way of helping a person. Right? Okay. Coming back, we will understand this more practically as we get into it. There's something called as association disassociation, which will come probably on the 5th day. There you will understand this better. Why not being compassionate, not being attached to a situation is really required to find a solution for the situation. Okay. Anyway, we'll get into that later. For now, let us now get into hardcore, pure NLP. When NLP was started, as I told, there were multiple ways of starting the program. So we understood certain pre-frames that we had to do for the program. Now we are just getting into understanding the basic thing that comes when it comes to NLP. Okay. This is called as frames. We'll just see frames today as we are going to start it. So what is a frame? we all have a frame of mind. Okay. So usually we have a frame of mind, how the process of mind works, and you have a trigger in the frame of mind. And when you are in a frame of mind, you have a trigger. There is a process that gets started, which will lead to an outcome. Okay. Until and unless you understand how to have a proper frame of mind, none of whatever we are going to learn is going to be useful. So the first and foremost thing is to understand what is a frame of mind, what is a productive frame of mind, what is a successful frame of mind, and what is a failure frame of mind. And also to understand which frame of mind that we are in. By the way, it is not wrong to be in the unsuccessful frame of mind, but it is wrong not to understand that we are in an unsuccessful frame of mind. It is not a mistake to do a mistake. It is a mistake to not realize that we did a mistake. Clear? Okay. So for this, I'm going to ask you certain questions. Now for this, you are going to have a pen and paper. But before we start, I would like all of you to think about one problem in life, one place in life where you are stuck. You're going to think about one problem in life or one place in life where you are stuck.
Are you trying to say that we are not able to find its solution, or rather we are not being able to, we have been stuck on this for a long time and we are not able to.
I'll give you some examples, then probably it will be more clear. I want to quit smoking, I'm not able to. I want to start a particular diet, I'm not able to. I want to start a business, I'm not able to. I want to get into a new career, I'm not able to. I want to read a particular book, I'm not able to. I want to generate a new skill, dancing, swimming, coaching, whatever it is, which I am not able to. Or I want to wake up at 5 o'clock, I'm not able to. Whatever it is. Clear? Or I want to go to the next level in my career, I'm not able to. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So think about one situation. All of you have one situation like that?
Yes.
More situations.
Many, sir.
Yeah. So for now, let us take one. Okay. Let us see how we solve that one. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you certain questions related to the problem. You're going to answer me. And when you answer me, you're going to write the answer. Feel free to write the answers in any language. We are here with different languages. Although the program is in English, you can answer in any language because I'm not going to see your answer. Okay. There is something called as content-free coaching in NLP, where what is content-free coaching? When I first heard about this concept, I thought, no, this does not work. Maybe you may also think about that in that way, but it's okay. We will experiment it. Content-free coaching is when I don't have to know what your problem is for me to solve your problem. I just have to understand the structure of how a solution can come, and I can make you arrive at a solution. We will understand this now. Okay, all of you? First question related to the problem. Now that you have identified the problem, you are going to write the answers related to it. The questions are irrelevant. It will be given to you in the booklet. Just write the answers. Okay. First question, what is the problem? Okay. Even people who have finished this first level or we are redoing the program, do this as if you are doing this for the first time. What is the problem? Write the answers. And as you're writing the answers, get your feelings which are associated to it, or analyze the feelings which are getting generated. First question, what is the problem? Write the answers. Writing is very important. The next best thing to writing is you can use a stylus to write it in a digital paper. But if you really don't have any other chance, you can think about something. But for now, please try to write as much as possible. So write the answers. Writing the answer is very important. What is the problem? Write the problem in detail. What is the problem? Write the problem in detail. use a pen and paper and write the problem in detail. Okay. Second question, how long do I have this problem? Think about it. How long do I have this problem? How long have I been trying to come out of it, or how long have I been having this problem? Third question, why do I have this problem? The second question is relatively short. So what is the problem? How long do I have this problem? As I told, the questions will be given to you. Just write the answers for now. What's the problem? How long do I have this problem? Why do I have this problem? Why do I have this problem? Fourth question, who or what is responsible for this problem? Who or what is responsible for this problem? Okay. As I told, as you're writing the answers, you can check the feelings which are getting generated within yourself. Be open to yourself. The fifth question, how does this problem affect my life? How does this problem affect my life? A simple problem like I'm not able to wake up at 5 o'clock can have a ripple effect. A simple problem like I'm not able to start a particular diet can affect my life in multiple ways. A simple problem like I want to switch my career, I'm not able to, can have multiple ripple effects. So what is a ripple effect? So what are the areas of my life which are being affected by this? How does this problem affect my life? Think about all the areas, arenas of your life which is getting affected because of this. Done. Next question. What is the worst thing that has happened because of this problem? What is the worst thing that has happened because of this problem? Let's say I was not able to diet properly, because of which I understood that I have developed diabetes, or I understand that I have got high BP, or my blood cholesterol levels are back, right? What's the worst thing? Or I was not able to work out, I did not do any sports, walking, workout, whatever it is. And I went to a party where everyone was dancing. After 5 minutes, I was totally out of breath and almost close to fainting, right? Or because I was not focused on my finances, I had to spend something for a tour or something, contribute something, I was not able to, whatever it is. What is the worst thing that has happened because of this problem? So what is the problem? How long do I have this problem? Why do I have this problem? Who or what is responsible for this problem? How does this problem affect my life? What is the worst thing that has happened because of this problem? Right? Written? The last question. The last question. When is the last time I encountered this problem, or when is the last time I realized this is a problem? When is the last time? Okay. Now that you have written these questions, read the questions and let me know what are the feelings that you are feeling within yourself. What are the feelings which are getting generated within yourself?
While writing, somewhere or the other, a mind shift has our mind has also shifted towards it. Like,
yeah, my question is, what is the feelings? Now, when I say feelings, happiness, excitement, irritation, anger, blissfulness, sadness, whatever it is that these are feelings. So just be open to yourself and what is the feelings that you are able to find?
Incompleteness.
Incompleteness. Good. That's a feeling. Okay. Others, what is the feelings?
Self-blame.
Sorry, Yasmin?
Self-blaming.
Self-blaming. Beautiful.
Felt very inferior.
Feeling inferior. Very good. Others? Sana, Rachana.
Frustrated.
Sorry?
Frustrated.
Frustrated. Okay. Michael. Others? Vani?
Fear, impatience.
Impatience, fear. Okay.
the way out.
Yeah, Sana?
Sorry.
Hopeless.
Hopeless. Okay. Rachana?
Confused, I am feeling.
Confused?
Just confused.
Just confused. Okay. Thank you. So others? Anyone left? Okay. I think all of you have told. Monica is there. Okay. So now, why these questions are making you feel bad is because these questions were designed to make you feel bad. Why did I design questions to make you feel bad? I did not design questions that will make you feel bad. I just designed questions that by default you will ask yourself. But that by default, most people ask themselves when they are stuck in a situation, even in the name of introspection, in the name of self-reflection, people ask them these questions. What is the problem? Why do I have this problem? Why the hell do I have this problem? Out of all the people, why the hell do I have this problem? How long I have been suffering with this? These are questions people ask themselves, right? Okay. Now, the point is, these are the exact same questions which more than 95% of the population ask themselves by default. These are called as blame frame questions. And the mindset that gets generated because of this is a blame frame mindset or a loser's mindset. Okay. For the question, who or what is responsible for this problem, how many of you answered me? Yeah? Myself, right? Me,
Yes.
myself.
Yes.
Or your own name, yes?
Yeah.
Fun fact, that does not make you any better. You blaming yourself and you being responsible for yourself are two different things. When you blame yourself, you are void of choices or you are void of action. When you take responsibility, you have choice of action. Both are two different things. A lot of times people think, okay, I don't blame anyone else, that's better. See, if I say all the problem of my life is because of someone, I may not be right, but still, I may have the choice of action. I may go out and do other stupid things that I do in life. But when I think all the problem, I'm an idiot, I'm an unlucky person, I'm a fool, that's why the problems are happening. I am identifying myself as, I am noting myself as, or naming myself as something that can never be successful, right? So self-blame is even worse than blaming others. That does not mean you have to go and blame others. That's also bad. Just because you're riding your bike without license does not mean you also can get into accidents. You can also kill people, right? So self-blaming is not going to help you in any ways, but we think it helps. Now, the question can come, okay, this is a problem. Now, how do I find the solution? Or if this is the mindset that a lot of people deal with, a lot of people dwell in, what is the mindset, or how is that I can have a mindset of a successful person? We are going to explore that questions. But before that, I would like all of you to do a small activity, which is called as jumping. So you are going to get up, jump and touch your ceiling, or at least try to touch your ceiling by jumping. There is a reason for anything that I tell you to do, even the writing part. I'll tell you what is the reason for it towards the end.
Did it? Stretching.
Okay. Working out every day is very important. Okay. Okay. Come on. Come back. Now, why I asked you to do this, I'll let you know in a while. Now that you're back, for the same problem, the problem remains the same. Whatever you wrote the answers for the first one, you're going to answer different set of questions. So the scenario does not change, just the questions are going to change. Okay? Okay. First question. What is that I want? There, if it was, I'm not able to wake up at 5 o'clock. Here it is that I want to wake up at 5 o'clock. There, if it is that I'm not able to generate proper revenue, here it is that I want to generate proper revenue. And you have to write it in detail. What is proper revenue for you? It cannot be, I want to be healthy. What defines health for you?
Did you say what does I want?
Sorry?
Did you say what does I want?
What do I want? What do I want in this scenario? And write it in detail. Now, initially we saw what is that, it's a problem. Now we are seeing what is that I want. Write the answers in detail. It should not be that I want to wake up early morning. What time? I want to have a healthy habit. What is a healthy habit? I want to be good in finances. What is good in finances according to you? Write it specifically. Done? The second question is something related to the first, so I'll just tell you, so you can also write that. When do I want what I want? What is the time frame before which I want this? Let's say I want to wake up at 5 o'clock, but I've been waking up at 10 o'clock till now. Now, probably I can take a week or so to slowly rehabilitate me into that. So when is it I want what I want? My finances are not proper. Probably I will have to take a couple of months to rework my finances and get into that. Clear? Good. Next. So what is it I want? When do I want what I want? The third question is, how will I know that I have it? What's the evidence? How will I know that I have it? Or in other words, what's the evidence? right? The fourth question. So what is it I want? When do I want what I want? How will I know that I have it? The fourth question, when I get what I want, what else changes in my life? What are the other areas of my life that will change, that will become better because of this? If I get my finances aligned, how does it affect the other areas of my life? If I get my health aligned, how does it affect the other areas of my life? Done? Now, the fifth question is something that you will have to invest a little bit more mind power into. What are the resources available with me to help me with this? A lot of times, we may have more resources than we know. We just don't explore it enough. So we are going to explore it enough. So what is that I want? When do I want what I want? How will I know that I have it? When I get what I want, what else changes in my life? What are the resources available with me to help me with this? So just think about the resources available with you to help you with this. Done? Think about all the resources. You'll have to explore a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and invest a little bit more mind power into it. Often you have more resources than you know. Right? Next question. There's something related to this one. What are the resources I may have to acquire to help me with this? There are certain resources you may have. There are certain resources you may not have. You may have to acquire. So what are the resources you have to acquire to help you with this? If I want to get fit, probably a gym membership is something that I don't have. A fitness coach, probably that I don't have. I want to get financially fit, probably an investment product that I don't have right now. So what are the resources I will have to acquire from outside? If I want to be better in business, probably a mentor or a coach, whatever it is, right? Done? Next question. How can I best utilize my resources? So now I know these are the resources. I know that these are the resources I have to acquire, but what is it I can do to organize my resources so that I can use it in the best possible ways? Often it is not about the resources, but how we use the resources that matters. A lot of people who get gym membership don't go to gym regularly because they have not organized it in the proper way. So how is that I can organize myself in a proper way? Or as the MBA term goes, effective utilization of the resources. Right? Done? And now for the last question. For the last question. So what is it I want? When do I want what I want? How will I know that I have it? When I get what I want, what else changes in my life? What are the resources available? What are the resources I have to acquire? How can I best utilize my resources? And the last question is, what is the first step I am going to do towards my goal today, or from right now? What is the first step I am going to take towards my goal from today or from right now? right? Okay. Now, if you're done with the writing, just go through these answers and just understand what is the feeling you have generated within yourself as you are writing these answers or you are reading these answers.
Actually, now it is looking very simple to get what you want.
Good.
That it is so simple. We have all the resources already.
Hopefulness, right?
Yes, that hopefulness has come.
Good. Others?
Clarity.
Clarity. Good.
Clarity. Positive. Feeling positive.
Feeling positive and clarity. Others? Sneha, Yasmin, Jasmine, sorry, Sana, and Vani.
The solution.
Already I know all the things. The thing is that I'm the implement part I'm lacking. How do I overcome all these things?
We'll get to that, but right now, from the first set of questions, what is the second set of questions? How does it change your feelings?
Looks like easy, but already I wrote all the things. The thing is that the implementation part
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, Yasmin?
Yeah, the productiveness.
Productive. Okay, feels more productive. Sneha?
I can see more hope over here.
More hope over there. Okay. Sana?
Yeah, positive feeling, like hope.
Thank you. Balamurugan?
Confidence.
Confidence. Thank you. Anuradha?
Feeling positive.
Feeling positive. Okay. Monica and Michael?
Hope and positive.
Hope
Yeah.
and positive.
Yeah, for me, it's okay. I get a clarity, but I still feel okay. But what about the implementation part? As like
Good.
one of them
Very
said,
good.
I
We'll
know,
get to that.
okay, these are all already there. Even in the resources, available resources, I already have everything, but I've
Good.
never been able to completely utilize it.
We'll
My
address that
question
thought
is towards
process.
that.
We'll definitely address that. Okay. So
Yeah.
right now, how is that your feelings changed with the change of questions? What was different in the second set of question, which was not in the first set of question? And why this is very important? That is one thing that we are going to explore, because the second set of questions reflects the questions that arises in the mindset of people who are success oriented, who are successful. Anyone who is successful, you can take the example of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Rajinikanth, Dr. Abdul Kalam, Ratan Tata, Elon Musk, or anyone who is successful in any field, they have, if they are consistently successful and they have a group of people who accept them, they will have the second set of questions in their mind always whenever they are stuck with a problem. The second set of questions is called as an outcome frame questions. And the mindset that it generates is the outset mindset, outcome mindset. Okay. Now, what does it mean? The first set of questions, if you notice, were questions related to the problem, were questions related to the past. Did you notice that? There was a level of stuckness that arose because you were always dwelling into the problem, more and more into the problem. The second set of questions, on the other hand, were thinking about the future and about the solution. That's why it's also called as solution questions, solution-oriented questions, right? A lot of time we think that we need to understand the problem properly, dissect the problem, get into the problem more so that we can get more solution. It is, however, not always true. For example, let us do a small experiment, if it is true or not. I'll give you 5 seconds. Just, you will have to look around and find a particular color that I tell you to find, okay? Look around and find objects which are in red or shades of red. It can be orange, pink, maroon, or any of it. Look around for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes. Now think about objects which were green or in shades of green. Now turn around and look around. Now open your eyes, turn and look around. How many objects which are green and in shades of green? You're able to find more objects than what you could recollect. Why? Because your mind is designed to remember and forget, to focus and to defocus. That is a speciality of mind. That is not a flaw of the mind. People who have ADHD or people even more, people who have issues where children get frustrated. What is it called? When children go totally crazy over things. When small stimulation will make them go crazy.
So autism and
autistic kids, right? Yeah. If you look at autistic kids, they take information in large chunks. Everything goes inside them. They don't have filters. But we as human beings are designed in a way to focus and to defocus, forget and remember, right? So when you're focusing on certain things, other things become defocused. You remember certain things and then you forget certain things, right? So when you focus on the problem, you get more problem. And when you focus on solution, you get more solution. You cannot think that you will dwell into the problem and find a solution. It is never going to happen. Clear? So the first set of questions, actually, it is not just psychological, it's also physiological. Now, how is it physiological? If you have a feeling that you are able to feel, it is in your body. Okay? If you're feeling something, it is anyway in your body. If you're not feeling it in your body, it means it's a thought. It is still not a feeling. Have you heard of people saying that I felt as if my heart was poked? I felt as if butterflies were flying in my stomach. I felt as if my head was spinning. There was a sudden flow of blood in my head, or my heart was pumping like crazy. If it is a feeling, it is physiological. If it is not physiological, it is not a feeling. Clear? Okay. So the first set of questions made you feel in a certain way because there was certain chemical change that happened in you because of a certain hormone that is related to stress. Can you guess that hormone? Anyone? What is that?
Cortisol.
Cortisol, right? The first set of questions generated cortisol in you and you were feeling low. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not here to demonize cortisol. Cortisol is a useful hormone. Whatever your body secretes is useful for you at some point of time. But cortisol, if you do some exercise, workout or whatever it is, maybe when you're damaging your body, cortisol can get secreted, which can heal you. If you're waking up early morning and suddenly you want to jump out of the bed, you will have cortisol, which will prevent you from jumping out of the bed so that you don't get your muscle, you give time for your muscle to, get into the process. So that is something that is helping you. But chronic secretion of cortisol by thought process is not going to be helpful for anyone in any ways. Clear? So the first set of questions generates cortisol. Guess what? More than 95% of people always think about the first set of questions. And we also, as people, a lot of time are programmed to think about the blame frame set of questions. The second set of questions, however, is something that created a little bit shift, that created a hormone that is useful for to feel happy. It's called as a happy hormone, one of the happy hormones. Which one? The easiest to access. Can you guess?
Oxytocin.
Dopamine.
Oxytocin is so advanced level. Serotonin and oxytocin are a little bit deeper ones. They are when you have an interaction with someone or something. Okay, when you have some process with someone or something. Now, dopamine is something when there is a scope of a change, when there is a hope, you get dopamine in you. When, let's say you are hungry and you find a plate of biryani or a bowl of rasgulla or gulab jamun, you still may not have had it, but you have a relief in you. You have some happiness in you, right? Right? So that is dopamine getting secreted in you. So the second set of questions generated something called as dopamine in you, which again, dopamine is not always the right hormone. Chronic secretion of dopamine because of external stimulus like gaming or indulging yourself in recreational activities or anything is not going to be helpful. However, dopamine secreted in small dosages is actually good for your health and well-being. Clear? Okay. So why did I ask you to write? When you're thinking, your prefrontal cortex or this part of your brain is getting activated. When you're writing, the next part called as the motor cortex is getting activated. That is responsible for the activities of your body. When these two are getting activated, automatically your limbic system, which is responsible for your emotions, are getting activated. That's why I asked you to write, so that you will be able to understand your emotions a little bit better. It's even if you had thought about these answers, probably you would have got into it. I just wanted to get it a little bit deeper. That's why we wrote. Why did I ask you to jump? Simple. When you are in a blame frame mindset, no matter what I do, if I ask you the outcome frame mindset questions, if you're stuck, if your emotions have already been spoiled, no amount of outcome frame question is going to get you solution. In fact, it will make you deeper, get you stuck more deeper. We'll discuss more about it tomorrow. So the break state is something which was required. You were stuck in a certain emotional state. I wanted to break that. The easiest way to program the mind is through the body, which we will explore a little bit tomorrow. Okay. So that is the reason I asked you to get up and jump, so that you will bring yourself to a neutral state. And then we can go forward. Okay. So if you are thinking in terms of coaching or counseling, probably a lot of times when I do work with clients, if they are talking about a problem which is really, really tough, before moving them to a solution, I make sure I get them to a neutral state. Until and unless I get them to a neutral state, I ask them to drink a cup of water. I just ask them to shift the chair. I say that, okay, let us sit a little bit more comfortable here, without letting them know that it is a break state. Or I talk about a vacation that they had taken. I talk about something that they like a lot. Talk about something or make them do something that will break the state and then go forward. Clear? This also applies to you. As I told, anything that you're going to learn here first applies to you. How is that you will understand that you are in a blame frame? How is that you will understand that you are in a blame frame? We understood that blame frame is not going to be useful. Outcome frame is useful. Good. How is that you can get, how is that you can understand that you are in a blame frame? Anyone?
Negative emotions.
When we reject feelings.
Sorry?
Through the feelings we generate from those mindset.
Feelings you generate using the mindset. If at all you find yourself in anything that you refer to as negative feelings, it means you are in a
victim state, victim or helpless.
Blame mindset. Yes. Okay. And the first thing you do is not ask the outcome frame questions, is to do a break state. Now, what can be a break state? There are multiple things on a personal level for you. It can be getting up and jumping. Or if you want to do a better break state, do burpees. If you do 5 burpees, any problem will disappear suddenly. So my favorite, or for intense break state, if I'm totally stuck, if I understand that I'm totally stuck, is to do an intense exercise for about 10 to 15 minutes. You have something called as high interval intensity workout, which you can do. Give yourself break for about 2 to 3 minutes for your body to cool down. And then this, by the way, works for me. You will have to figure out what works for you. Go and have a cold shower. Okay. If possible, ice cold, or at least a normal cold shower. And after that, coming back out and doing something like listening to good music, or having good smell in the house, or talking to someone that makes me feel good. So all of these things actually breaks me out of that. Break state is something that should be short and effective. 5 to 15 minutes is something that you can take. If you're going to take a bit longer, it can be 20 minutes. It is not something that is a deviation or a distraction for you. For example, your finger gym exercise is also a break state, as you may think, but it is not a break state. It is something that deviates you from everything around you, making you numb to the environment. Partying all night is not a break state. It is a state by itself. Okay.
I'd like to say something on this.
Sorry?
I'd like to say something on this note.
Yeah. What is that?
Very important. This is very important. Because while you say that, okay, when you're doing finger exercise, sometimes you're in that break state, or maybe you're trying to find some solution. At times, scrolling, you come across some videos or some message that is really for you, and it hits you and brings you into the zone there, like, oh, this is the solution I was seeking out there for.
Good.
or this is what
there are two ways. There are two ways to live life. One is to live life on your choice, or one is to live by accident. Now, when you scroll, you don't know at what point of time you will get what. There is no guarantee that you will get something that makes you feel good. There is always a chance that there will be something that can also make you feel bad. Right? If you go and gossip with your friends, maybe your friend may make you feel good, but maybe it may not happen that way also. Right? So you doing things on your own accord is important if you want your life to go in your own accord. Right? So break state is something that should be short, should be intense, and makes you come back to the normal state. And after that, if you cannot ask yourself all these questions, at least ask yourself two questions. So what next? On a personal level. If I'm working with a client, I would rather ask them all these questions. Okay, now that these problems are there, how is it we'll find a solution? But so what next? Clear? On a personal level. Now for the question that couple of you, Monica and Parijadavani, had asked, how is that I know that these are things I have to do? How is that I bring myself to do it? Okay, a very important question. We will discuss more about it tomorrow, but basically, just a small hint to tell you, your whole life, your unconscious mind is programmed in a very simple way. Your unconscious mind, you may think, is very complex. They are very simple logics. There is nothing called as good and bad for your unconscious mind. There is only things that it likes, things that it does not like. Okay. There is nothing called as ethical, unethical for it. Okay. The only thing is the things that drives it is pain and pleasure. So the whole concept of your unconscious mind, you can roughly put it into pain and pleasure. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're not doing is only because pain or pleasure. Either you will do something because it gives you pleasure, or you will avoid something and do something else or run away from it because it causes pain. True or not?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you eat? Because it gives you some pleasure. Or why do you eat a balanced diet? Because you don't want to have the pain of having a bad lifestyle or bad old age. Or probably you don't want to have the pain of knee pain, heart attack, whatsoever it is. So your whole life will be governed by these two principles because your unconscious governs your life, pain and pleasure. If you know, the more you know how to handle this, the more you will handle your life. The more you don't know how to handle it, more your mind will manage your life. So when it comes to your unconscious mind, there is only two options. Either you program your unconscious mind, or your mind will program you. Right? If you don't do anything, by default, your mind will program you to do something or the other. Clear? So the point is, your outcome frame is the most important ingredient of success. If you want to be successful in anything, in any ways, you have to be enough in a outcome frame. And by default, most of our frame goes towards the blame frame because that's the easiest. This may not, by the way, outcome frame is not going to be the easiest one, but that is the best one. The same way, when you learn cycling or when you learned any new skill, it was not the easiest thing that you were doing, but it was the best thing you did for yourself, right? So the best thing you can do for your mindset is to be in an outcome frame. Clear? And how is that we can implement it more practically? We will see it tomorrow, just to keep it a little bit light today. Yes, Monica.
Yeah, so thank you. Okay, I was just trying this earlier with my mother. So she mostly, happens to go to the blame frame for one particular problem that she is facing. But when I try to give a break state, she doesn't accept. She says, how can I go and do something else when there is a problem which is not solved?
So as I told, even if it is a mother and daughter,
yeah,
mouth and stomach are different.
Oh, so what should we do?
You can, okay, one of the things that you can do when you're doing on a personal level is, without their knowledge, you can bring them to a break state.
Okay.
Before getting into things. I'll give you some examples tomorrow where on a personal level, I have brought people to break state with my wife or with my son or with my friends, how I have done break state without their knowledge. A lot of times they don't have to know that you're doing a break state. You can do a break state.
Okay.
Okay. That brings us to a very important question that a lot of you may ask after a while. So let me put the question now. Is NLP manipulative?
From here, yes.
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
The simple answer is yes, it is. Okay. The point is manipulation wrong?
No, it isn't.
Manipulation is neither right or wrong. The intention behind manipulation can make it right or wrong. If I manipulate someone and make them achieve a lot of things in life, is it wrong? But if I manipulate someone and steal money from them, then there's a problem. So manipulation by itself, the Oxford Dictionary definition of manipulation is not wrong. We have created an idea. Whenever you hear this, you ask masses manipulation, they'll say, oh, manipulation is too wrong. How is it wrong? When you try to program your children to learn good habits, what is that you're doing? You're manipulating. When you try to make you accept a certain kind of food which you may not have enjoyed before, what is it you're trying to do? Manipulate. When you're trying to lead people to a common cause so that there will be a better future, what is it you're trying to do? Manipulate. So manipulation is neither right nor wrong. The intention behind manipulation may be right or wrong. Clear? So yes, NLP is manipulative. Here you will understand every single ways in which you can manipulate yourself to become a better person. Clear? Any questions? So one thing you will have to
Karthik,
do.
I have a doubt.
Yes, Vani.
Actually, you said that you program your unconscious mind, that you meant it is a conscious mind. Am I right?
You program your unconscious mind using your conscious mind.
Oh, using my conscious mind.
Without making a conscious choice, you don't form a habit. That's the start. That's the spark that it gets created. It is like a spark plug of a two-wheeler or four-wheeler. It ignites things, but it does not run the vehicle. What runs the vehicle is the engine, machinery, petrol, and everything, which is not the spark. I think I went into an automotive metaphor. I'm not sure how many of you could connect to that.
Yeah, please explain.
Spark plug in your vehicle, if you're starting your two-wheeler or four-wheeler, the spark plug creates a small spark that starts the process of combustion of petrol or fuel or whatsoever.
So what are you relating this spark plug to?
That is your conscious mind. But a lot of people think that spark itself can keep you going. That will not. You need an internal
the rest of it is unconscious.
Rest of it is unconscious.
Okay.
Clear? Yeah?
Yeah, fine.
Are you trying to say, sir, okay, the will not keep us going, the action or the other things that added up to it?
Good. The will, if you're going to depend on your will to do everything, then you will be a very tired, irritated, angry person all the time. Because it takes a lot of energy to do that. To exert your willpower, it takes a lot of energy. To make choices, it takes a lot of energy. Auto process usually works. Right? Okay. Now, one thing that we are going to do till tomorrow is try to focus and understand what frame of mind we are in. And whenever we catch ourselves going to a blame frame, how is that we put us back into the outcome frame? What is the break state that we are going to do? What break state works for us? Be open. Just because you did a break state does not mean you come back to normal. So you have to be open and analyze yourself. Be a scientist and let the lab be. Okay. So let your body and mind be the workshop where you're going to do this experiment. Just try to understand. So being in an outcome frame means you're looking at what next. Something happened. Jo ho gaya, so ho gaya. Aage ka kya? Whatever happened, happened. What is going to be going forward? Clear? Good. So just experiment this. This is easier said than done. I'm not going to say this is a very simple thing. Let us be practical and let us be real. Whatever is simple in life does not have to be easy. Being in an outcome frame is living life in a very simple way, but that's not going to be easy because we are all complicated human beings, right? We are big people in the small earth. Right? So let us try to become more easy and simple. So just focus on the outcome frame for the next 24 hours. And let's meet tomorrow at 7 o'clock. If you have any questions, you can post it in the group. Or if you have any questions which was not sorted out, you can also DM me, send a personal WhatsApp message. I'll just try to sort it out over there. Okay. So thank you. Thanks a lot. It was wonderful meeting you all. So we just have very light learning today. So we understood what is NLP. We understood what is a conscious mind. We understood what is language and what is body language, how it affects us. We also understood how is that your language can program your mind. We understood about the basic presuppositions, which is very important. Tomorrow we'll discuss about how these presuppositions itself came into existence. And how personal examples, as I told, that has worked out in my life for break states of making break states with others. So that we will see tomorrow. So for now, just have a good sleep. Just assimilate the process. The booklet will be shared with you today. And the recording will be shared before within the next 1 hour. I'll have to download it. It'll be a little bit extensive process because usually I download it in my, it's already downloaded in my laptop. Unfortunately, it is in the cloud. So it will be getting downloaded and then I'll upload it in a YouTube link and send it to you. Right? Clear? So thank you everyone for being live and for being on video for most of the time. Thank you everyone, each and every single one of you. It was really wonderful talking to you, discussing with you. And let us start this journey and let us have this journey more successful. Sorry for being 4 minutes late to close the session. Tomorrow we'll try to close it on time. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.